But Jamie Moran, if there is one thing that I can complain about Xbox, and there isn't a thing that I'm going to complain, it's that I do not want to be 60 years old playing Fallout 5. And I hope that that is not going to be the case. But why I'm bringing up Fallout and why every Fallout fan should be very excited this particular week, or well, actually, it's a double-sided coin conversation we're about to have, because this week we learned that it was the 15th anniversary of Obsidian's Fallout New Vegas, which again, I know Todd Howard is going to give me the eye when he sees me the next time, but my favorite Fallout game has been and probably always will be Fallout New Vegas. Right now, this is a game that I think has transcended generations, and it's a game that I really hope at some point gets an Oblivion-like remake. And I think it deserves it. I think it would sell like absolute freaking hotcakes. And again, this is just my love of it. Well, Obsidian tweeted the other day, today marks 15 years since the release of Fallout New Vegas. Since 2010, players have explored the Mojave Wasteland, where countless carriers have walked the same road, each carving their own story. Thank you for keeping the spirit of the game alive all of these years. Viva New Vegas. And folks, I'm a nerd. I'm getting goosebumps just reading it. Like I'm so excited. But why anyone should be excited about Fallout specifically is we have a tweet here from Bethesda and from the official Fallout on X. And it says, just 3 days away from the Fallout Day broadcast, join us for a celebration of Fallout and get the latest news about our current titles with an S, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, if you all know that a couple of weeks ago, I was very lucky enough for Bethesda to invite me to Manhattan in New York City to sit down with 2+ hours of the new expansion, Burning Springs, for Fallout 76. And Jamie, look, I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, but I'm going to try, because there are one or two things that could happen. I'm hoping it's a multitude of things. So we've been hearing since the ABK drama in court that there was, in fact, a Fallout 3 remake happening. And it just so happens that that was around the same time that we learned about the Oblivion remake that launched earlier this year. Now, Fallout Day is happening, and it's happening relatively soon. My, gut feeling here is this would be a really excellent time to shadow drop Fallout 3 remake on the community, just like they did with Oblivion. Now, granted, I don't know this is going to happen. It's a wish that I'm hoping is going to happen, because December we have the season 2 of the Fallout series on Amazon Prime releasing. So it makes sense from a business point of view, right? Now walk with me on this, folks, because this is going to get to the point of you're going to tell me, don't say this, Boom, because it's too good to happen. Well, here's my thoughts, Jamie and chat. Fallout Day is happening. They said that they're going to be talking about our current titles. Now, as far as I know, Fallout 76 is the only Fallout title that is getting new DLC or an expansion. And that's the only thing that's actually happening for Fallout. So when they say titles, I take that as plural. Now, I personally think that this would, again, I'm going to reiterate it. I think this would be a great time and a great space for them to shadow drop Fallout 3 for Steam, PS5, Xbox, and even Switch 2. Why not? Go crazy. it's going to sell like hotcakes. And Fallout 3 is my second in the list of Fallout games. Right? They're not many of them, but for me, Fallout 3, I put hundreds of hours in. But now again, that's why I said walk with me on this, folks. Because it's Fallout Day. So why shouldn't they have numerous announcements? And why shouldn't they? And again, folks, this is just me spitballing here. Have another announcement outside of the possible Fallout 3 remake shadow drop. Now, Obsidian just tweeted the other day that they are celebrating the 15th anniversary of one of the best Fallouts ever made, Fallout New Vegas. What if, and this is where we're getting a little crazy here, folks. Again, walk with me on this, folks. What if they also announce that for next year, or at least they announce it, that there is a Fallout New Vegas 2 happening? That would be a mic drop moment times 2. And why there might be some smoke to what I'm trying to talk about here, or fire to the smoke that I'm trying to lay, is the original producer from Fallout New Vegas last year announced that he was coming back to Obsidian. But when pressed about asked, and when the press asked him about whether or not he's back to do Fallout New Vegas, he didn't shy away from it, but he didn't say no. Jamie Moran, what are you expecting at this Fallout Day announcement? And are you hearing what I'm saying? Could we get not one Fallout announcement, but possibly 2?
Oof, this is a tricky topic because if I can find the clip, I'll post it. Last year, after season 1 aired on Amazon Prime, and after the whole, Fallout 4, like Fallout 4 had such a boost of a TV show that it was number 1 across all of Europe, right? At that point, it was a 9-year-old game, right? So like when that happened, I was like, okay, I was 100% sure that Fallout 3 remake, remaster, whatever people want to call it, that's going to drop alongside the TV show season 2, which will be December. Now, with a game as big as Fallout, I don't think you would really have to shadow drop it. I think you could market it, right? And they did say there's not going to be any new games tomorrow. Fallout 3 already exists, so maybe there's a loophole there. We could be, coping or like huffing the hopium or whatever. But Fallout had such a huge boost last year that people at Xbox realized that, oh, we need to do something with Fallout now because, like, look, Skyrim, that's still going to get expansions. Elder Scrolls 6, that's coming at some point in the next 2 years. We realistically, if nothing else moves the needle, we're going to get Fallout 5 in 2035.
I say 2030 because you know that Bethesda works in 5 and 6 year blocks. So Jamie might be onto something. I hope that I'm not 65 playing this game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, by the way. I 1,000% hope I'm wrong. But like they have to have realized, and they did realize that they can't be sitting on the Fallout IP for as long as they have for other stuff. So like, considering they have Obsidian now, and considering like Fallout is such a rich universe,
yeah, man,
you don't really need to have like a brand. Like, look, who's to say that the next new Fallout game has to be this massive open world Fallout game, right? Why can't it be a spin-off, right? I keep pitching this idea, and I really hope someone listens at Xbox. I would like a first-person shooter where you play as the Brotherhood of Steel in the wars,
yes,
right? And it doesn't have to be a huge open world game. It could be a linear first-person shooter. You could do anything with the Fallout universe, and that's the beauty of it. And when it comes to the whole Fallout 3 thing, like, look, Virtuos did an incredible job with Oblivion. They made that world feel alive. It's beautiful, yet it still retains its charm from 2006 as something which I thought would be impossible, but they made it work. And like, if you look at Fallout 3 is my favorite game of the Fallout franchise. It's one of my favorite games of all time. However, when you play that game, you become very quickly aware that the whole map is gray, green, yellow, and brown all at the same time. Like everything in that map, every texture is the exact same color. It doesn't matter if you're walking past a hospital, in a supermarket, or in a town. Everything is that weird shade of greenish, yellowy, gray, brown. Right? So like
You're not wrong.
my dream, and they could technically do this with a Fallout 3 remake, remaster, whatever people want to label it as. Like, if you take Fallout 4's gameplay, put in a little tiny bit more color, and maybe Fallout 4 centric color tones in Fallout 3, you've got a masterpiece, right? I think Fallout 3 is a masterpiece anyway, but when that gameplay, it's dated slightly, especially the third person camera movement is awful. But yeah, just it's vomit colored. Yeah, that's what Fallout 3 is. I love that game. And you're walking in an open world vomit map, basically. But I love that world. It's amazing. I've never been to Washington, DC. I assume the whole thing isn't that color, but I love that game. And look, almost everything on that list that leaked a couple of years ago has came out. So who knows what's going to happen? Obviously, Fallout 76 had a huge boost last year. They're coming out with more content for that. It's going to be ongoing for years. Fallout 76 has had a huge boost over the past couple of months. I see in my feed. But like, if you're going to announce anything Fallout related, I by the way, I do think New Vegas will get the same treatment down the line.
It would be great, dude.
I don't think it'll be this year, but I could see it being next year, maybe the year after, because I think if you're Xbox and Bethesda right now, you realize that, look, if we're really gonna have these long periods of time in between these marquee titles, wouldn't it be cool if you could come out with a Fallout New Vegas remake or a Morrowind remake, right?
Yeah.
Guaranteed hits. And by the way, I do think Morrowind will also get the same treatment, although that'll probably be the game that takes the longest to make because they essentially have to literally make the whole game. But I think these things will happen. You know, Microsoft were against this type of stuff for the longest time, but now that they have the studios, they have the know-how, and look, working with Virtuos, they learned a lot. They clearly know that they can get the job done. And why wouldn't you work with them again? Sure hit. Oblivion was fantastic. It was greatly received, and I can't really recall many complaints about it. You know, it had some weird Unreal Engine lighting error which they fixed, but like other than that, like it's a great version of the game. The Fallout event should be interesting. I do think that if people go into this thinking we're going to get Fallout 5, not happening. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
But like Fallout 3, I think that is the big one they could do, right? Get rid of the puke color in Fallout 3, please. Right? I seriously, I can't stress enough how much I love Fallout 3, but my God, that world is ugly.
It is just a really small palette of color. It's
yeah,
it
like even bit of a tangent, right? Every single thing in that world is the same color.
It's really it's all brown. Honestly, it's dirty
it's all
and
the same
brown.
color, right?
Yeah.
You just exit this vault and you hit with this like bloom, right? And you see the open world and you're like, wow, this is incredible. And then you walk a little bit and you're like, huh, this patch of ground is the same color as that hospital over there. You know, then you walk, maybe you play for another 20 hours and you're like, everything looks the same when it comes to its color. But you know what? I don't care. You know, and look when it comes to the expansions in Fallout 3, right? Fallout 3 has amazing expansions.
They really do. They're some of the best they've ever put out, honestly.
You have Broken Steel, you have Mothership Zeta, where the whole expansion is set on a giant alien mothership.
Yes.
Right? And it's incredible. You have the Pit, which is basically this Mad Max vibe looking thing. Right? They have a bunch of different expansions, and each one's different than the last. And I think that, you know, if anything, I think that might actually be my favorite Bethesda game, Fallout 3. So like we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm 99% leaning on something Fallout 3 is going to happen. Even if they don't announce it, I think they'll probably tease it because the season 2 for the Fallout show is going to be huge.
Yeah.
They aren't dropping that whole show at once, from what I see. So like they're gonna want to be running this Fallout train for a while because Fallout's going to be huge.
I mean, so far, look, Burning Springs is if you're a fan of the show, right? Walton Goggins, obviously, we know that he plays the ghoul in the show. Well, he also did the actual voice for the ghoul in a prequel, because Burning Springs is a prequel to the actual show in Fallout 76. And you get to do bounties for him, which is pretty dope. That's also releasing in December. So you have the season 2 of the Fallout TV series, and you also have Fallout 76. Now, like I said in my Ask Me Anything, they have made it where you can play solo and still have a good experience. If you're someone that actually wants what's considered a closed world where it's just you and the NPCs, you can pay for that. There's a year's pass, or you can pay monthly, which I think is like $7 a month or something like that. Or is it 13? I don't know. I don't remember the pricing on it, but I know that you can either pay $99 for the entire year for what's considered their Fallout Premium Pass, or you can pay monthly. I don't really play MMOs. That's why I was a bit hesitant to even go to the event, but they did make me into a believer because the graphics are great. The voice acting, obviously it's Walton Goggins, so it was really good, and I had a good time playing it. But I am a single player guy. You all know that. Jamie Moran here is a single player guy. I think, and this is just me kind of spitballing, if I'm putting on the business hat for a second over the Mohawk, I originally thought that it would be amazing to do a shadow drop in December for Fallout 3 Remake. But I now, sitting back and kind of just listening to Jamie talk and kind of in my own thoughts, that would actually be a terrible idea because they have Fallout 76 and Burning Springs releasing in December. So why, the Fallout 3 Remake would eat that lunch. It really would, because it's Fallout 3. And if it's going to look and act just like Oblivion, it's going to be a masterclass, and it's going to be a seller. It's going to not have to, again, Xbox Game Pass subscribers won't have to buy it, but people on PlayStation, people on Steam could, play, if they want to buy it, they can buy it. And if it's released on Switch 2, that's going to be awesome. A new game for them to play, why not? So it makes sense to me now more than ever that the Fallout 3 Remake could, in fact, show up on Fallout Day, which is October 23rd. But what I did before we get on out of here, there's some additional context to what I was saying before. So the gentleman I was talking about his name is, well, he's still alive. His name is John Gonzalez, and he was the writer for Fallout New Vegas. Well, he has been brought back to Obsidian Entertainment as a creative director. And this comes to us by the way of Clobriel. And Clobriel had put out a tweet, says, John Gonzalez is returning to Obsidian Entertainment as a creative director, previously lead story writer on Fallout New Vegas. And according to John Gonzalez, he says he's back for what he says, quote, exciting times. But he also clarifies that he's not working on Fallout New Vegas 2. Okay, I mean that's a bit of a bummer, but I still think that, look, here's the thing, folks. Obsidian is got to be working on something. Now, what are they working on? I have no idea, because they've put out 3 games as of Friday this year. Avowed, still my game of the year. Loved every second. I'm waiting for a new Game Plus for them to release. That is supposedly happening soon. I will start that game. And Jamie, I always bring you into the conversation. I want to play the way that you did. See, I played from a magician first person. You played from a melee third person. I'm going to actually play that. When I watched your gameplay and you put a lot of it out there, I'm like, man, did I play this game wrong? That looks amazing. So I'm definitely going to play that way, and I'm excited for it. But they'll Obsidian 3 games this year. What are they working on? Listen, I'm not a business tycoon. I don't have a business degree. But if you were to put out Fallout New Vegas remake, it's going to sell a gazillion copies. If you put that out, or you just announce that you're making Fallout New Vegas 2, it's going to sell a gazillion copies. It's one of the best, games, at least in the series for me. And the series itself. And again, folks, if you haven't watched Fallout, walk away from shut the mic off. I'm about to spoil something for you. So you've been warned. But at the end of season 1, Jamie, where are they going? They're going to New Vegas. So I'm sorry. I just hope that a New Vegas announcement, whether it be a remake, remaster of the original one coming out next year, that would be dope. And obviously this year could be Fallout 3 remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it. And then maybe if the sales, look, I think the sales of Oblivion, it sold over 10 million copies, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a remake. The game is 100 years old, and it's sold like freaking hotcakes. If they put out Fallout 3 remake, it's going to sell. If they announce that they're putting out a remake of Fallout New Vegas, it's literally going to force them to put out a New Vegas 2, because it's going to sell like gangbusters.